are not just the you that you know in your physical body. There is a larger part of you who is non-physical. Humans often refer to this part as your soul, your God force. We call it your inner being, but it's that source energy part of you who is eternal. That source energy part of you who existed before you came into this physical body. But the important thing that many humans do not realize is that not only does that non-physical part of you exist before you came into this physical body, it still exists while you are here in this physical body. And there is a relationship between you in the physical flesh, blood, and bone and that non-physical part of you all day, every day. And when you recognize that there is this relationship and that your emotions are your key to understanding what relationship you have with that non-physical part of you in any moment in time, now you've got conscious awareness of your active guidance system, and now you have the probability of really living happily ever after, of doing what you came to do, and so much that you are picking up along your physical trail as new desires. And we also want you to realize that right here and now, while you are focused in any conversation that you're having, that non-physical part of you is flowing to you and through you. And you can tell how good the sync up is. So, for example, when you are holding someone as your object of attention and you are appreciating them, you are loving them, you're just feeling the wholeness of who you are as you are focused upon them. There's no contradiction between your focus in this moment and the focus of Source, who is always focusing with you and through you. And so the resulting emotion is that resonant feeling of well-being, that resonant feeling of love. There are not words to describe, and it would be good if you didn't try so hard to find so many, to describe what true resonance with Source is. And when you're focused upon something that you don't like, well, then that resonance is clouded, and resistance is what you feel, and that's what negative emotion is every single time. If we can say something today that will help you to lighten up on yourself just a little bit, if you can find more unconditional love about yourself, it would be so good for you. Because when you focus in your experience and you find reasons or conditions to not appreciate yourself or anyone, someone else, for any reason, you hold yourself in a discordant vibration. And the result is you don't feel good in the moment. But another result is, in that moment of negative emotion, you are actually practicing a thought and therefore encouraging a momentum of that thought, and therefore turning that thought that started out soft and simple and unimportant, not very much of a determination in what comes to you in terms of your point of attraction, of turning that thought into something that has enough momentum that it's a full-blown belief that then becomes a central part of your point of attraction. And that's the thing that is so ironic, because you are offering this thought which becomes a belief, and then it becomes a reality for you, and then you believe it. That's the best way for you to really cement a belief in. Offer a vibration that you didn't need to offer until you cause a reality that you didn't want to cause, and now you've got an experience that you have to face. It's reality after all. And then you say, of course I believe it. I lived it. Life taught it to me. And what we want you to understand is that you are teaching life how to be to you. Life isn't being that way to you willy-nilly. You are not here just to have life descend upon you and then observe it and accept it. You are the creator of your own reality. But we love you so much you don't act like you know it. You are so often just observing things and taking your observation as if it is something that, because it is, then it is your responsibility just to observe it and then to comment on it and then to blog about it, and let's gather some statistics about it, and please, 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 let's erect monuments about it too, so that no others ever do not accept the belief that we have created about the things that we do not want. Let's pass these beliefs on from generation to generation, because after all, we don't want these little buggers that are coming in to really believe that the world revolves around them. We don't want them to think that life is supposed to be good for them and they're supposed to live happily ever after. We need to teach them. Humans want to pass on what you know. We want you to pass on what you feel. We want you to find the vibrational core of who you are, to make sure that you're in resonance with Source before you pass it on. Now, what we're going to say next, if you can hear this, then your life will begin to transform in manifested visual, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it ways immediately. But here is the piece that you've got to get in place. First, you have to accept that this is a vibrational world, do you? And that you are a vibrational player in this world. And that you are an extension of a vibration that is active and vivid within you. And that when you are in any moment resonant with that vibration, you feel the resonance of it in the form of powerful, positive emotion. And when you get sideways of it, when your thoughts, when your beliefs have introduced resistance into this equation of your focus right now, you feel the discord. You accept all of that. But that's not the easiest thing, is it? Because you've got some thoughts going that have gathered some momentum, and the momentum is causing them to manifest, and the manifestations are something that not only you are noticing, but those around you are noticing too. And so it's not easy to get your eyes off the reality that already is, even though we so much want you to get your attention upon the reality that is becoming. But the is reality is so compelling, isn't it? There's so much texture to it, so much detail to it, so much momentum to it. And so we understand why it's compelling to you. But the what is not as rich as you make it out to be. You can get in the mode of being in awareness of what you are doing vibrationally without holding yourself so succinctly to the details of what is in terms of manifestation. And that's the thing that we wish with everything that we are to convey to you in a way that you can really hear us. Yes, there is a what is. There are conditions that surround you that have manifested into what is. There certainly is a reality that you could get together and agree in large part upon the components of what is. But what you mostly don't remember, and what we know so vividly, and what you mostly would do well to remember, and what we know so vividly, and what we wish to convey to you in a way that you will then remember it and get it active in your vibration. Yes, there is a what is that is manifested, but there also is a what is that is vibrational. And that vibrational what is, you can recognize it here and now by the way you feel, because you can feel the what isness of your relationship between your desires and your beliefs. That's what is too. In other words, when you want something and you doubt it, that doubt is what is right now. It's a what is too. When you want something but you have fear around it, that fear is an indication of a vibrational reality, a vibrational what is right now. So what we want you to understand is that, yes, out there in the details of the life that you're living, it is close to impossible to, in any short order of time, change the vibration, change the thought, change the feeling, change the emotion. It's just not likely. But you could do what you've been talking about doing for a long time as humans. You could discover an unconditional alignment. You could find at the heart of that the vibrational core of it. And here's what we mean. So here is the piece that we so want you to understand. As you stand here in your vibrational beingness, it is that vibrational beingness that equals your point of attraction. Your point of attraction, that point where you begin the process of turning thoughts into things, of turning something that is a vibration into something that you can realize with all of your physicality. We're talking about creation here. But we want you to understand that unless you get your eye, your sensor, your attention, your focus upon this emotional center that is yours, then you're likely to continue to perpetuate unwanted momentum. You say, there are so many things I want that more money would provide for me. And then even as you're saying it, you're feeling negative emotion because you're thinking, but I don't have that money that I want or need. So you've got both of those vibrations going on. So we say, well, let us help you clean up your vibration. So we talk to you about how you can get some money. And in your mind, you argue with us, well, I've been trying and I'm not getting any. And then we convey to you that there are many people who have been where you are standing. And then you argue with us in your mind that, yeah, you know, but you don't know what their circumstances were. You know somebody that inherited something, you really don't like that guy. And you know somebody who won the lottery, he's just a freak of nature. And then you begin remembering that you didn't inherit anything. And then you wonder why your parents didn't plan better so that you could have inherited something. And then you think about your spouse who spends like a wild banshee, and there's no point in ever trying to save anything because as fast as it shows up, it's gone anyway. And so we're trying to have a conversation with you about how you can have more money, but you're off to the races on how you feel about money. It's not because you are a bad creator. It's not because you are a negative thinker. It's because you've got momentum of those thoughts. Those beliefs have a lot of momentum going, and you just can't stop a train that's going 100 miles an hour that way and make it go 100 miles an hour that way all of a sudden. You wouldn't want to. It's hard on the contents of the train. You don't want it to be like that. The thing is about now, the reason that now is playing out the way now is playing out in terms of everything that's happening in your experience is because of what you've been thinking and how you've been feeling. It's all about the mixture of energy within you. And that mixture of energy within you is about your desire and your belief. Really, that's all that it is. Desire and belief is the framework by which you are offering vibration. So when the I want it is the more dominant part of your vibration, things that match what you want begin to actualize in your experience. You begin to realize them more. If the but it's not working, but I don't have it, but I don't know anybody that it's working for. If those acknowledgments, and you say, but they're true, if those acknowledgments are dominant, if you're giving those more airtime, then your point of attraction is dramatically affected by that. You getting this? You get what you think about. And what is confusing to so many of you is that you think about what you want and then you think about it not being there. And then you think about what you want and then you worry about it not being there. Or you worry that it will go away. Or you wonder where you're going to go with it next. We want you to find a way of practicing your vibration, practicing your thought into alignment with what you really want. And that's why desire, what you really want, and belief matter so much. Because desire is what you really want, even though it's sort of fleeting in your vibration sometimes. And belief is the practiced vibration. That's just the vibration that you've been practicing. It doesn't mean that it's true, although often the reason that you support your beliefs is by saying that it's true. You've been trained to be objective. But if we can just convince you, and we're going to give it everything that Esther's got, if we can just convince you that it's all about vibration, it's all about thought, it's all about focus, and your now moment can be different than the now moments that you've been practicing before they were now moments. And if you can accept that this now moment, that you can think differently and therefore feel differently, and because you're thinking differently and feeling differently, your point of attraction is different. That if you can maintain that different vibration just for a little while, the momentum of the new thought will become a new belief that harmonizes with the desire. And when that happens, when what you want and what you believe about it are in the same place, then that is your point of attraction. Whatever you got going on thought-wise is what's manifesting in your experience. There's just no way around that. So if we can get you to care for a while, won't take long before you really get the hang of this. If we can convince you to care about your emotional manifestations first, last, and only for a little while. In other words, you care about how you feel more than anything else. Then we have a chance of convincing you about focusing your thoughts in ways that beliefs will begin to harmonize with desires. And when that takes place, your point of attraction is so solid, so non-contested, so not resisted, that you stand in a point of attraction with the universe surrounding you, yielding to you constantly as it always is. But the new factor is you're letting in what's being yielded to you. When you ask, it is always given. The answers are there, the solutions are there, the path is there, it's lighted up for you all day, every day. But if you are all balled up in beliefs that prevent you from following the path,